Greetings everyone, I am Reverend Ruth and Story Bar with Angel Healing Ministries, and I'm here with you today at Hempstead Lake State Park. I know I've been to this park numerous times before in the past, but this was the quickest place because we're with the way that the weather's changing and stuff, the sun goes down quicker, so where I really wanted to go originally, it was most likely going to be closed by the time I got there. It was going to be dark. So I'm shooting here from Hempstead Lake State Park at one of the most popular lakes over here. If you can see behind me, there's a lake there, and I'm seeing some foliage out here. Look at all that. Nice. Foliage. Beautiful foliage. Great. And today it's just a beautiful day. We before the storm, because we're going to get rain coming up real soon. We're going to have rain, so we're going to have to be careful of that with the rain. I'm trying to find the right light. With the rain coming, it'll be either raining tomorrow or the next day. Don't know which day it's going to be, but soon. And I want to go over our mission statement with you. Our mission is to guide you on your path to find God, and to show you how important truth and faith are along your path back to God, and to show you how important truth and faith are along your path back to God, and show you how important truth and faith are along your path back to God. And that's super important because having faith and truth, living your truth and having faith is very strong. It helps us move forward in life and do things that we need to do and get things done. I know faith means it's believing in something that you cannot see. And that's what makes it challenging sometimes, faith. Because you gotta have faith and believe that you're gonna do what's gonna happen. You can't do what you cannot see. And it's best to have faith in ourselves and in the spirit, in the life of spirit. Let me turn this way around. Better light here. At least I can see my water bottle from over here. So, my friends, our lives, we'll go back up again. We're going back up. Our lives are unexpected, or surprises most of the time. For instance, my friends, recently, I want to talk about rebuilding. Recently in my life, I figured this. I wrote this out a couple days ago, and it's about rebuilding our lives, rebuilding everything, our lives, our spirit, our mind, and it's the tower effect. I think I talked about that in another video once before. And what happens with rebuilding, you get so close to so many things, and I had that happen to me so many times in my life. Oh my goodness, it's incredible how many times this happened. And you can ask any one of my friends; they'll tell you they were with me when I've gotten so close to being a success as a manager, and all of a sudden, bam, something happens to change everything. Like Laura Ashley, Filene's, and what else? Oh, Kmart, and just recently Payless Shoes. And I was almost to the top, where I almost had a good opportunity to have my own store. And then all of a sudden, bam, they all closed within weeks after each other. And it was really frustrating, because here I'm really striving and I'm getting my building. I was managing 4 different types of stores in the general area of Westbury and Port Washington and West Hempstead, and I was in Elmont, and I didn't manage it, but I did work in Elmont a couple of times. I worked in a bunch of different stores over time as Payless Shoes, and the stores, it was actually 3 stores I had keys to that I was in control of, that I was opening and closing. And it was a good feeling, because it gives you that confidence, that self-confidence. So it gives you that feeling that, oh yes, I can do this, this is amazing, this is wonderful. And you're moving right along, and then bam, it's like, what? You go, what? And everything looked so good, I mean, I knew these places were going to close at some point, but it just was really tough, because I had worked so hard to get where I needed to be, and put my bag down, and it was frustrating. But you have to pick yourself up. You got to dust yourself off and pick yourself back up again. That is the way of life. And this will happen to many of us over time, because I guess it's God's, God, I haven't figured out the reason why these things happen, but maybe it's because it wasn't the path I was supposed to be on. Maybe it's to help me with the bigger and better plan. God has a bigger and better plan for me. And the knowledge that I take from these places is going to help me with that in the future. And that's what I have to believe, and I have to continue to hold on to my faith. I can't be discouraged. I have to be encouraged, despite whatever happens. Because when you get discouraged, you fall into that despair, that down spiral, and that's not a fun place to be, my friends. You want to be on that up spiral, and these past few weeks, I've been picking myself up from a lot of stuff. I've had a lot of stuff going on, and things that when you're on an up spiral, things start to work out for you. And I'm beginning to notice these things as time goes on. Like I've been fighting for a long time to get a certain amount of money that someplace owed me, and it finally came to me today, and it was a blessing. But now I'm going to be careful with that money, and I'm going to be happy and careful with it. And it's only going to go for more important things like food shopping, things like that. Food shopping, anything the house needs. Diana needs a doctor's appointment, I'm going to take her to the vet, and I'm not going to go crazy spending it like I did. This money's got to last me until I start working again. And to top it all off, I was talking to my friend Michael, and we were talking about rebuilding the event planning thing now that the pandemic is still out there, but things are starting to open up more. So now we're thinking of possibly going back to doing that, me and him, which is a good sign, because that's, again, we're rebuilding from the bottom up again. We're rebuilding everything. And I think we talked about the Tower Effect. Sometimes it happens in life where you're reaching to a point, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, something comes and just says, not today, or nope, not this time. This is not where you're supposed to be. Just take the skills from this and follow and see where it's going to lead you later. And that's the best way we can probably do things. See where it'll take you later. And you keep building up these skills. You keep storing these skills within yourself, and it looks good on a resume when you finally go on to the next job and the next job. And then you continue to get the skills that you're supposed to get from these different places, from different things you do as volunteer work, volunteering, regular work, helping out other people. And these skills all come in handy later for you in life. They come in handy. They make things, you have now this gift that you can work with, you see. And that's the way we have to see it. We have to look at it as a moving up in the right direction, not a stepping down. I mean, sometimes you have to go back one to move forward one. That's something they said in the book Labyrinth. There was a scene where Sarah had to go backwards once and then walk forward. Or was it 2 steps back and then 1 step forward, and it took her to another location of the labyrinth? I think that's what it was. It was in the book. So sometimes we may have to take a step back for a little bit, but then we wind up walking back up again to where we're meant to be. And that's the way we got to do. You got to climb the ladder, and this is true for spirituality as well. A lot of us have many different spiritual beliefs, but when something happens to make us doubt and question it, then we have to rebuild ourselves from the ground up again. And in life in general, rebuilding is a thing that happens every once in a while. I think in a way it's a preparation for the future, for something even better. And I know it can be frustrating when it's happening right then and right now, right then and right there and right now. But sometimes we just have to be different. We just have to understand the situation that we're dealing with, and we got to go within and find out where we need to make a change. And once we do that, and we just keep moving forward, and we keep pushing forward. As I spoke with in one of my other videos, we have, no matter what happens, despite anything, we have to hold on to that ambition to get us where we need to go, my friends. And we have to believe that we can do it. And I know when you're building and building and building, and all of a sudden something happens that really becomes frustrating, it brings you down, you just have to sit in it for a little bit, but then pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. That's the way life is, my friends. No matter what. We may be in challenging situations at home, at work, but there's always a way to rebuild ourselves, make our faith stronger, make us grow, meditating, praying, each and every day, and being grateful. These are things that we can do as people, individuals, or in groups, that we can keep ourselves going, for that support, that need, and help. And those are ways that we can rebuild ourselves by going into meditation, getting the vision of what it is that might have happened, or see what we might be missing, ask God and Goddess, or, Mother, Father, God, why, and then listen, open your ears and listen and wait and be patient. Things don't happen overnight. And I've said this over and over again. Things do not happen overnight, my friends. They happen in only God's time and Goddess time. And that can be frustrating for so many of us because we want it now. We want it now. I want an answer to this now. I want an answer to that now. I want this to work out for me now. That attitude is not the attitude that we want. That's the attitude that we need to overcome. We'd be like, okay, so this has happened. Okay, so what can I do to change it? Instead of, oh my, poor me, poor me. Why can't I get where I want to go? Why? That's got to all stop. You've got to think positive. You've got to be positive and uplifting. Okay, things like, all right, so it didn't work out this time. Let me organize myself, regroup myself, and find out what happened, and change it the next time. And then overlook what you might have done, what you might have learned from the situation, my friends, and then use it in the future for something else. These are ways that we can make things better for ourselves. Instead of living in that despair and that down spiral, these things can easily move us up the up spiral and help us get better to where we want to be and where we want to go in life. And that's basically what this is all about when we rebuild. It's going to happen often in life when we have to rebuild. Instead of getting discouraged by it, find a way to encourage, feel better, change it, fix it, make it better. Life is changing. The world is changing. I mean, it's all a matter of what you're going to do with what happened and how you're going to work with it this time. And that's pretty much the best way I can describe what rebuilding's all about. We have to rebuild finances because, sometimes some of us might make a bad investment and then we lose all our money. Then you look back and say, okay, what did I learn from that situation? What will I do right the next time? Instead of getting discouraged about it. So you take a good look at that, my friends. And you say, okay, well, I can do this next time, so this doesn't happen again. These are little things. Keep notes. Keep a journal. I keep a journal all the time. It's like easy. And it helps make life a little bit better for us and change things. And that's what we want to do, my friends. We have that gift within us to rebuild our lives. We can't give in to the upset, the discouragement. We have to stay encouraged. We have to stay upbeat and positive at times. Sure, you can be discouraged or negative for a little bit, but don't let it rule your life, because there's a whole world out there, and you can make many changes. While you're in that despair and that negative down spiral, you might be missing something very important, my friends. So be a doer. Despite what happens, my friends, be a doer. Go out there, rebuild your life, no matter how many times it happens. Because one day, 100 times, 5, 6 times, one day, when you rebuild your life or your situation, it might be the right situation. And these things, maybe you've reached your point where it won't happen again. But now you've learned, you're more wiser, you have more wisdom, you have more understanding from what has passed. Let the past be the past. Learn from it, don't live in it. Move forward. Live in the present. Don't worry about things as much. Because somewhere inside your heart knows that no matter what happens, my friends, you always come back from whatever it is that you're stuck in. Thanks. Have a beautiful day and night, and we'll talk to you real soon. And if you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe. Thanks. Have a beautiful day and night, and we'll talk to you real soon. And happy Halloween. Bye. And this is Reverend Ruth on Star Your Bar from Angel Healing Ministries. Take care. We love you. Namaste.